let's see now if there are any questions or comments, or anyone want to chime in, please.
I basically like your presentation, but as the question you raise up, why PRC, disagree, or say they have a right to invade or to, fight against Taiwan. That's because your last picture answer all the questions. Well, you present all your idea, your speech is in Taiwan. But look at the picture. It says Republic of China. Republic of China is not equal to Taiwan. So if we can handle that issue, and I think I 100% support, follow your presentation. And
yeah.
One question is that
yes.
I had a friend, he wrote an article called From Hugo Grotius to WTO, and which is published in 1992. Okay, he mentioned exactly the same question. He talked about the separate custom territory. So why not independent? In Mandarin, they always translate into 独立. Okay, it's not independent. It's separate, but separate from which custom territory? Do you know which one? Separate from which one? He has a very good article. If you go back, you can Google and you can find out. He had a good answer to that.
Yeah.
That's probably part of the question. You don't really answer that. Yeah, that's back into the San Francisco Peace Treaty. I will stop here.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want to answer?
Yes, sure. And actually, it's like I mentioned, we have to face the reality. So what you have said is the reality we need to face. And the reason why I choose pick up this picture is also the subconsciously we need to handle this. If we not, and like the U.S. policy just said, they will see Taiwan status as unsettled because it's still an unsettled issue. But for Taiwan government, the endeavor is really to look into the all possible way to expand its international sphere, and to, just I have mentioned, to integrate into the international legal system and to stay on the right side of history. So I cannot provide more answer at this point, but like you mentioned, it's the reality we need to live with. Yeah.
Okay.
I sort of have a question more on the practical side. If we look at this TPP, to say, what is the time frame that that you think you can conclude that is it a 10-year period or 20-year, or what was it? It seems it's more way beyond just tariff and like a kind of basic trades. It's more of a legal, labor, things like that. And as a matter of fact, one of the violent disagreements within the U.S. is that on the TPP, eventually there is the movement of people, whatever it is, And if you look at that and look at what the Sunflower movement is saying, which is very tiny bit of exchange of people across the straits. This is probably the wholesale on a grander scale. Does the people really understand the implications of this? Then I have a follow-up question. I mean, if you look at Taiwan to say right now is that, join that, what are the legal stumbling blocks, All I hear right now, and this applies to Japan also, is agricultural products and things like that. Is there anything beyond that? There's no other stumbling blocks? So these are my questions.
If we look into the evolution of international trading system, so after 1947, actually international trade has brought this world into a more secure position than before, because as many people say, when the goods cross the border, then the social won't. So at this point, but the mechanism in the WTO is, like I have mentioned, they will adopt a new trade agreement by unanimously. So it's very difficult to really get a new set of multilateral trade agreement to cope with the new challenges. And actually, why many people are saying that TPP is an economic wing or strategy for U.S. rebalance strategy. The reason behind that is nowadays multilateral trading system is already outdated. Now we need to really look into the new challenge, like I have mentioned, the environment and labor rights, and I think like it will bring the international trade regime to a more equally, and also to enhance like U.S. the developed countries trade competitiveness through to have a more compact trade rules. Like in Vietnam, if they enforce the international labor standards, and then the competitiveness divide between Vietnam and other countries should be
there's no way that
limited.
Vietnam is going to allow free trade unions under this regime.
Yeah.
So whether they're gonna, they're just gonna ignore it or whatever. But I mean, there's more than one authoritarian country in the TPP at this point that has a long way to go on.
Yes, yes, of course. But at least it's a new attempt to bring to a right direction, to make the international trade more can spread the advantage of trade fuller. So I think it's the main point for the supporter for the TPP or for the new set of the trade agreements. And so, and what is your second question actually?
Well, I saw the comment.
Yeah.
I know it.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I ask you
Yes.
to shift, if you're willing to, a little bit from the legal to the political?
Yeah.
So a lot of the political interest in this in Taiwan overlaps with the political interest in diversifying Taiwan's trade away from the focus of the ECFA, namely on the mainland, to have more legs to stand on, and not basically responding to what Hillary Clinton was saying, being mindful of the dangers of becoming overly dependent on the Chinese market. But some of the people, including farmers in southern Taiwan, for example, who have certain political sympathies, who are worried about that, are also not so eager to open up their markets in the way that TPP will require if Taiwan is going to join. So, any thoughts you have about the current state of the political hurdles that would have to be overcome in Taiwan, I'd be interested in hearing your response to, even though I realize it's asking you to step a little bit outside your role. And then secondly, I mean, I have been assuming that given the fact that once the TPP emerges with the current group of, 12 members, I believe that it's like the European Union and you need unanimity to admit anybody else. So I think there's a general recognition that there's no way Taiwan is going to be admitted until the People's Republic of China is admitted. And so what do you see as the sequencing and realistic timetable that would, enable all of that to unfold?
Yes. So the first question about the political hurdles in Taiwan to join
meet the requirements.
Yes, the requirement. So, and here probably I can give an example about the AIIB's reaction in Taiwan.
Okay.
And actually, the Taiwanese, as Taiwanese government announced its interest to, or even already submit the application to join the AIIB.
I'm sure that
and the objection in the objection in Taiwanese society is really minor.
Okay.
Even it's mainland China-led organization, but when its plurilateral system can expand Taiwan's international participation and not only focus on mainland China, then it will ripe the support from the Taiwanese society. So the TPP will apply the same rationale in Taiwanese society, because even for the farmer in southern Taiwan, they can sense the necessity for Taiwan to join to expand its international sphere. So that's why I think it could be possible for Taiwan to have enough support.
And before you move on to the second one, just out of curiosity, what is Beijing's initial reaction to the prospect of Taiwan joining the AIIB?